Today I want to combine some economic theory with my thoughts on education. Basically, we're all familiar, I hope, with the idea of supply and demand. That in economics, if there's plenty of supply, right, and the demand is not high, then the cost of that good or service is going to be low, right? For example, grass clippings. You can get them from anyone's yard. No one's really going to charge you too much to take their clippings away when they're done mowing. So you can get those basically free, right? Whereas, say, diamonds that have to be pulled out of the ground and take a lot of skill and care and work to get them to your jeweler, get them polished and ready to go in your ring or your necklace, they cost a lot of money. And so a couple carat diamond costs a lot more than a handful of, cut weeds. Okay? Now, what does that have to do with education? Well, in America, we have a free public education system. It's also mandatory, which means that pretty much everybody has the opportunity to go to school through high school for free. I say the opportunity because you would think everyone would do it. It's free and it's even mandatory up until about your junior or senior year. But we do have kids that decide to drop out and quit with that last year or so left. However, most people get through high school, or at least a significant number of people get through high school, which means that having a high school diploma is not necessarily what it used to be, okay? Because if everybody's got one, then having one doesn't really set you apart, okay? So how do we solve that problem? One is to actually make the degree worth something. However, in order to do that, you have to leave some people behind, which means that not everyone is going to finish high school. So my thoughts on this are, what if we made the mandatory part of education only through, say, 8th grade or even 6th grade? Then people would be able to do basic math, read and write, at least at a grade school level. And so if you just needed to hire them to flip burgers and be your checkout person, then they would be able to do that. And that could be their career. They wouldn't have wasted extra time in high school. We could start training them when they're about 13 or 14 to do that job, and they could get quite good at it. And then the high school years, or even junior high and high school, we could make that much more competitive. The students who didn't want to be there wouldn't be there, and the students who did would actually want to work and get through, which would make the high school experience for those who were there much more enjoyable without having to deal with, bullies and other things going on in the classroom that don't have to do with education. And then it'd also make it better for the teachers who are teaching at that level. But then the students who didn't want to be there could be out and working in education. Maybe we need to set up a better GED program for those that maybe work for 4 or 5 years and then realize, that school thing, probably ought to go back and do that. And a way for them to do that either inexpensively or even still free, but as an adult when they care. All right? Those are my thoughts on the day. Supply and demand, if we can make the demand higher for education, then I think things might get better. All right? Have a great day. Hope that helped. Take care.